Sure. I don't even have a computer. I just listen to you as much as I can, on a local affiliate. But I was watching the news, and it was the CBS affiliate, the local CBS.
By the way, I mean, literally, we've gained so many affiliates in the last year. I know we've been on for over a year now in Corpus Christi, and I enjoy listening to the show. Sometimes when I'm on vacation, hearing the rebroadcast down there, because I go to Port Aransas, my favorite place on the coast. Great place to visit, great people down there. Sean, what's the affiliate call letters and a number?
The KZTV. That's the. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's a local CBS affiliate, and they literally have the mercury in a plastic.
No. What I'm saying is we're on the radio in Corpus Christi. I'm off the top of my head. I don't have it in front of me. What's the affiliate?
Oh, it's a 1440 Keys. Is that what it is?
Yes.
What you're talking about?
Well, I don't have the full list in front of me. That's something that Genesis has never compiled properly. They got an old list up, but I wanted to plug the station.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I've been trying to get my girlfriend to listen to it a little bit, and then she saw the footage on it, and she freaked out. She's like, "Oh my gosh, she is right," And I was just like, "See, I mean, this stuff's really going on."
Well, I haven't seen this, but I want to.
Well, you have to see it. You absolutely have to see it because.
What did they say? Mercury in hamburger patties, Corpus Christi?
Yeah, and it was HEB. And they said it was an isolated incident, and they have no, they're not worried about much. But they took off. They had a recall on their 10-pound bags of patties or something like that. Well, that's
insane. That's insane.
But it's absolutely brushed underneath.
No. Sean, we found it. We found it. I'm going to have to watch it during the break, but we'll look at it. My issue is, well, there's so many issues, and we covered it in Food: The Ultimate Secret Exposed. That 15-minute video that we posted on YouTube that's had over 500,000 views as a public service announcement. It's so important that be gotten out to people that they have distillates. And the oil companies, when they refine crude oil, a large percentage of it is unusable. And so they distill it out to be Vaseline and to be Coke for the steel mills. I mean, hundreds of different distillates. Phosphorus, things like sulfur for the tips of matches. This all comes out of the oil. And they take the majority of it and put it into fertilizer for crops. And it's full of mercury, lead, arsenic, benzene. And then they spray it on crops. And crops are very good at sucking up these chemicals and poisons and heavy metals. And then you eat it. You then eat it. And that's why, according to the Washington Post, around half of the major corn syrup products they tested had high levels of mercury. High levels. It's in the corn. And what, 3 years ago they approved, and now it's used all over? Sodium fluoride as a spray, as a pesticide to be put on the crops. Well, it goes right through the cell wall. It bioaccumulates is the term. It builds up in the soybeans, in the corn, in the wheat, in the sugar beets, and all these other plants, all these other crops, the tomatoes, whatever the case is. I mean, it's used on everything, and then you are eating this. So eat your vegetables. Yeah, it should be good, but it's not. And then they also feed the corn and things in the feeds to cows. And the cows then bioaccumulate this over 4 or 5 years while they're getting fattened up, and then you eat a steak or hamburger or whatever it is. It's full of this. Now, this hasn't been proven yet. I see the newscast on screen. HEB says they're going to test it, so we'll see what happens there. I mean, if it is true, it's their supplier, and God knows what's happened. Look, our food supply system is a joke because the big mega companies, I've seen the numbers years ago in USA Today about Tyson, and Tyson's got more than 2/3 of global poultry production. They're moving in to take over hogs and to take over beef packing. And they make payments to the politicians, legalized bribery with the campaign contributions, and I've seen cases where they can have hundreds of violations per plant and don't get in trouble. But then their competition gets one violation, they get shut down. And so, yes, the food, the water, all of it, it is a nightmare. It is a joke. And then you've got the drugs they're giving the cows and the pigs and the chickens and the antibiotics that then create superbugs within the poultry yards, within the poultry buildings, within the feedlots. And all of this is being passed on to humans. And you know what? We may have to pay a little more for meat. We have to pay a little more for vegetables. And you will pay more not eating poison. But we need to do this. You know, there's a reason. Americans are eating the same type of junk they were eating 20, 30 years ago, but we're getting fatter. We're getting more unhealthy. We're getting more cancer. We're getting more disease, even though we're eating about the same calories. I've looked at the studies we were 2 decades ago. It's not how much we're eating, it's what we're eating, okay? It's full of poison. We'll be right back with more calls. Appreciate your call, Sean, David, Jonathan, Doug, Mike, and others. Your calls are straight ahead. I'm Alex Jones.
Is your debt problem a ticking time bomb? Thanks to a new financial consumer relief program designed in response to the economic crisis facing millions of Americans, you don't have to wait until it's too late to defuse your debt. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card bills and are struggling to make minimum payments, get ready to take down this number for free information that could potentially save your home, the lifestyle you're accustomed to, and your family's financial well-being. But don't wait. Studies show that if most debt problems are confronted directly, beneficial settlements, manageable monthly payments, and quick restoration of credit are more easily attained, potentially saving you thousands of dollars in interest charges, fees, and unpaid debt. Don't procrastinate. Call now for your free information and begin putting your economic house in order today. To qualify for this program, you must have $10,000 in credit card debt. Call the American Debt Associates at 800-876-2966. 800-876-2966. Again, 800-876-2966.
The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElvaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website's www.thefallofamerica.net or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net.
Attention to all U.S. drivers who own a vehicle that has less than 130,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to our country's economic crisis and auto repair costs on the rise, if your vehicle has less than 130,000 miles, as of today, you could be one of the millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle covered under United Repair Plans and have 100% of your future covered auto repair bills paid for you. This low-cost vehicle service contract has been established under United Repair Plans and is now available to the general public in order to save drivers thousands of dollars on auto repairs during our country's recession. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, you may now call to see if your vehicle qualifies and for a free 5-minute quote. Number to call is 800-809-4491. 800-809-4491. Again, that's 800-809-4491.
Global meltdowns, massive unemployment, endless wars, a new currency crisis, financially and morally bankrupt. A great and terrible storm is approaching. So what's the best way to get ready? To get prepared for hard times ahead? Introducing Off the Grid News, a weekly newsletter for independent patriots who want practical advice on how to survive and prosper in an increasingly dangerous world. It's the best way to get a black belt in emergency preparedness, survival skills, and off-the-grid living. Off the Grid News is fiercely independent, all about self-reliance, and packed with helpful information on survival gardening, food preparation, alternative energy, herbal medicines, privacy and security, as well as God, gold, and guns, with absolutely no apologies. And the best part? This $100 a year service is now free of charge for our listeners. That's right, free for our listeners who sign up at offthegridnews.com. That's offthegridnews.com. You can sign up for free at offthegridnews.com. Offthegridnews.com.
Well, it turns out our listener of radio station KEYS 1440 AM in Corpus Christi that carries us 6 days a week, by the way, is correct. It was on the local news that what is reported to be mercury was just pouring out of these hamburgers. That doesn't sound like something would come from the manufacturer, HEB. Might be like with Tylenol, where they had that sabotage by somebody along the line. Well, let's go ahead and play this short newscast. Here it is.
Tells Action 10 News they found mercury in their meat while cooking hamburgers last night.
They claim 2 of their boys got sick from the toxic chemical, and after returning from the doctor's office today, they called police. Take a look at this video. The family claims this silvery fluid material came seeping out of their hamburger patties bought at HEB as they were cooking it Sunday night. The family called poison control last night after their 2 sons, ages 13 and 17, got sick, and today they called police to come out and document the scene. Crime scene techs took photos of all the remaining meat as well as the freezer inside the home. The family told us they're not 100% sure it is mercury. They just don't know what else it could be.
I put the patty on a little bitty plate and took it to my daughter's room and showed it to her, and she goes, "Oh my goodness, that's mercury."
It was silver little balls, like, I don't know, like liquid. It was kind of liquid, but I mean, you know, liquid metal or something, but it was mercury. I mean, if you've seen mercury before, you know, it's unmistakable.
Boys are doing okay tonight. Here's what HEB told us this evening. All 10-pound bags of ground beef, like the 2 that were supposedly sold to the family on August 8th, have been pulled from the shelves at the HEB store at Alameda and Robert, where the family claims it came from. The family did take some of the meat back to the store on Sunday after cooking it, and although they no longer had the original packaging it came in, HEB has sent that sample off for testing at their Quality Assurance Division in San Antonio. HEB also says they are working closely with the family to find out if there really was mercury in the meat and how it might have gotten in there, if it was there. We're also told...
Okay, you can go online and watch the rest of Action 10 News. So there you have it, another caller bringing up an interesting issue. That's why I love the calls. They take us in interesting directions. I have another clip before I go back to your calls. I mean, what's the problem? What's the problem if it reportedly has mercury in it? According to national newscast on CBS and local newscast here in Austin and the federal government, mercury is now good for your children's brains. And I guess the mercury in the H1N1 shot causing a 10-fold, according to the London Telegraph, in convulsions in children, I guess it's a good thing. Remember that clip we've played countless times here on air? Where they say that mercury-containing vaccines actually help children's neurological development, not harm it. And then we have an MSNBC show saying lead in toys is good for your children. I mean, this sounds completely insane, but you can just go to YouTube and type in MSNBC says lead good. Or you can go to YouTube and type in mercury vaccines good, and they'll tell you how great it is. Here it is.
May have on kids.
A life-saving device wins over-the-counter approval by the FDA.
And sick of your glasses and contact lenses? A new corrective eye surgery is approved today. Here's tonight's medical headlines with Medical Watch reporter Seema Mather.
Mercury-containing vaccines may help, not harm kids, according to 2 new studies in the journal Pediatrics. There have been widespread concerns that mercury-based preservatives in vaccines might impair the neurological development of children. These new studies suggest that the opposite, that the preservatives may actually be associated with improved behavior and mental performance.
And they're now saying lithium, a toxic metal that brain damages you, needs to be put in the water. It'll help you. It will improve you. Yeah, and they got new vaccines that will eat parts of your brain to make you be more passive. And this is an improvement. The government said so, so we need to take it. And I'm the conspiracy theorist because I think mercury's bad for you. Let's talk to David in Florida. David, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Alex. Finally good to talk to you again. Yeah, I was calling to first invite you to Florida for cookout. I've got some mercury marinated burgers, and we're going to be seasoning them with some fluoride. So you come on down and bring your bun and all. But
well, you're a good patriot. I mean, that's good. And of course, the buns, most of them have high fructose corn syrup full of mercury in them, so that's good. You're a good patriot.
We've got lithium seeds to top it off. So, but anyway, the main reason I called was to take issue with you. Now, 95% of the time, I believe you're dead on. But this Islam thing, you know,